Hi, I'm Amy Romeo from amyromeo.com, and I'm so excited for this video today because I can finally show you the setup of my Dreambox 2 from Create Room. I've been wanting a Dreambox forever, and I finally got one, and it's taken me a little while to get it all set up just the way I want it. But today I'm going to walk you through exactly what it's like to get your Dreambox delivered, how it's set up, and how you figure out where you're going to put everything, and I'm going to show you everything that I have in mind. I'll let you know my thoughts and my reviews, and of course I'll have a link and a coupon code for you if you want to get a Dreambox of your own. So if you're ready to learn all about the Dreambox 2, let's get started. So before we get into the fun tour of how I have my Dreambox all set up, I wanted to mention a few things about purchasing your Dreambox and some things to consider. So I decided to go with the pre-built Dreambox. It does cost a little more, but I have to say it's really worth it because the large elements of the Dreambox are already built. Basically what you're doing is inserting your shelves and doing some other small tweaks, but for the most part, the big parts of the Dreambox are built for you. Now they'll come in a big crate, which will be delivered to your home. And I want to show you how it looked when my Dreambox was delivered. This is the guy pulling up to my driveway, which was a super exciting day. And then I was able to put the Dreambox inside my garage until my kids were home from college and they were able to help me take out the larger pieces and bring them inside my home. If the pre-built Dreambox is out of your budget, that's okay. You'll be able to get the Dreambox that's a total DIY, and they have very easy instructions. It'll come with a whole instruction manual, plus there's a video that will walk you through how to assemble your Dreambox. The DIY version is also great if you're taking your Dreambox to a smaller space or maybe upstairs where it might be more difficult to get these really large pre-built sections into small areas. So if you get the DIY version, you're able to take all of the unassembled pieces up into your smaller area and then build it there. I also got the full set of totes. Totes is what Dreambox calls the little plastic bins, and you can either buy a full set or you can get a half set. I opted for the full set and decided that if I didn't want to use all of the bins, then I could just store them for later use, but I did end up using all of them, and I really did find something to fill almost every one of them. So I'll be showing you my pre-built Dreambox, and let me show you a little bit about how my boys brought it in the house and helped me get it set up. So once the Dreambox was inside and all the parts were connected together, the Dreambox was secured to the wall for safety, and also the stabilizer feet were in place, it was time to start to play. So the first thing I wanted to decide was how I was going to decorate my tote covers. I'm sure you've seen other Dreambox videos where the front of the clear totes have some decorative cardstock paper inside. This is a really fun way to personalize and customize your Dreambox. So I decided to make a 2-layer cardstock design. The back layer is solid and the front layer is a cutout of a design that matches the front of my Dreambox, which I will show you when I close it up and show you the outside and a little bit of customization I did there. But all I did was cut both of these pieces out with my Cricut and glued them together, and I let them dry flat under something heavy for just a little bit to keep them nice and flat and really well glued together. If you're interested in this pattern and a video on how I made these, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to make that for you and share this pattern with you free on my blog. So I made all of my tote covers first, and then I got busy putting them in place. What I did to secure them was just put a little bit of double-sided adhesive dots on the inside corners to keep them secure inside of the totes. Once I had all of my tote covers in place, it was time to decide what I was going to put in each one. And I'm a little bit slow at thinking about where I want to put things, so I really took my time. And what I did first was I started popping my most important supplies and the supplies I use most often on the left-hand side, because I'm left-handed and that's where I will naturally reach. And I also used some regular Post-it notes. I started writing with a Sharpie marker and sticking those Post-its onto the front of the totes just to kind of get my mind around where I was going to put everything. Then I started going through and sorting. So I make jewelry, but I make jewelry using faux leather and a Cricut. So I have a lot of the traditional jewelry supplies, but I also have a lot of faux leather. I have so much that I ended up sorting it into all the different categories. So I have a whole tote just for glitter. I have totes for printed faux leathers for every season, and I have totes for light color faux leathers that are solid, darks, textures, patterns, all kinds of fun stuff. So I started sorting them out, and what's great is the faux leather often comes in an 8.5 by 11 size sheet, so those fit perfectly in here. If you're a scrapbooker, your 12 by 12 cardstock is going to fit great inside these totes. They have a handle on the front and the back, and if you don't want to put a tote cover, you certainly don't need to. You can just keep it clear on the front so you can see what's inside. Then I wanted to label my totes so I knew what was inside. I know a lot of crafters use permanent vinyl to make labels for their totes, but I wanted something with a little more flexibility that I could move around and change the labels. So I found some label tags on Amazon, and I'll have links in the description for all of my extras that I've added onto my Dreambox for you. But it's a little tag, it's a 3-inch label plastic cover, and it has a small hook at the top, and it has a small little loop at the top that's very flexible, and it can be clipped onto the top of the tote. It can be clipped up here, or it can be clipped on the center, wherever you'd like. And I just used Canva to print out my little labels. I used a font that matches my brand, and I also used a color that matches my craft room. And then these little papers just slide in and can be taken out and replaced whenever you'd like. If you're interested in a tutorial on how to make these little label covers for your totes using Canva, let me know and I'd be happy to make that video for you as well. Something I love about the Dreambox is the flexibility in all of the components that you can put together. For example, you're able to put the different tracks and slide the drawers in. You can put them in wherever you'd like. You can separate them out. You can put them closer together. You can remove them all together if you'd like, or if you have something large that you want to put in there, there are shelves that you can put in. It really is very, very flexible. I really like the flexibility of the doors because I wanted my Dreambox to look pretty when it was open, but also to have it be really functional, and again have my most important items ready and accessible right on my left hand side for me to grab them. So what I ended up doing was putting some fun glitter faux leathers in rolls. I just put them with a little slap bracelet. This is how I hold a lot of my faux leather rolls together, just with a little slap bracelet, and I have them all up here on this little shelf. And then this shelf has the hooks. So I have all of my most used Cricut supplies, like my scissors and my hole punch for punching earring holes, my brayer, my scraper, all of those kind of things. Then this is a little pocket here with the cool Create Room logo, and here you can put more really commonly used items. Then I made a small shelf for myself. I use a lot of these faux suede tassels, and I love these little containers from Create Room. They fit right in the door on those little shelves, and then they look really pretty too. Finally, all the way down on the left-hand side, I have more of my favorite faux leathers, which I can easily grab. Again, I have those little slap bracelets. I'll link to those for you. But really, think about this side of your door and the other side as ways to put things close that you want to keep very handy, but also that are going to be pleasing to you. I have so many faux leathers crammed in all of my drawers because I have so much of it, and it really is fun to be able to display your favorite craft items because really seeing them gives me a lot of joy. Another thing I love about the Dreambox is they've really given you all kinds of options for how to make the doors your own. Like I said, on my other door, I wanted to have the hooks, and then I wanted places to store all of my pretty faux leathers in rolls. If you do a lot of ribbon crafting, you get these dowels. They're metal rods that go all the way across on your doors, and you can display your ribbons or you can hang things from them. But I really wanted a way to display a lot of the earrings and keychains that I've made over the years, again, because they make me happy when I'm crafting. So what I did was I got a small IKEA pegboard, and it happens to fit perfectly inside the top part of my door. And then I just used the hooks that the IKEA pegboard comes with, and I put those dowels on, and I was able to just hook the hooks that connect the pegboard onto those dowels. I also have a dowel here on the bottom that keeps the pegboard from sort of falling back too far. But that way I'm able to hang and display all of my items. So when you're going through your Dreambox, think about what you use every day when you're crafting, what you want to see, what are the colorful supplies that bring you happiness when you're crafting, and find a way to put those within reach and also display things that you love to see. The Dreambox 2 really makes it so easy for you to customize it to the type of crafting that you do, whether it's jewelry making or Cricut crafting or scrapbooking or resin crafts. Whatever your hobby is, you'll be able to use this to fit all of your supplies and make them easy to find and also happy and joyful to look at. So as you may notice, I don't have the crown light. There's an optional light that you can attach to the top of your Dreambox that comes out and hangs over, and that provides additional lighting for when you're crafting. I opted not to because my craft room is very light and bright. There's a very large window on this side and sun streams in all day long, so I didn't think I would need that. But I do love the light that is already built in. So even if you don't get the crown, you do get a light here, and this is plenty of light for me when I'm crafting at night. Here I opted for the version where you can fit more of the totes. There is a drawer option, which I decided not to get, or if you wanted to have a monitor or a TV inside here, you can also get that version as well. What I wanted was room to have my Cricut crafting machine, and I wanted all of my smaller jewelry making supplies right at hand. And something I love about these smaller totes is you're able to put little dividers inside, so you can portion these off and make these smaller for whatever supplies you want to put inside. The same is true of these smaller totes as well. These little ones, you might think that you can't really use them, but I've found all kinds of things to put in there. I put a lot of samples. I put different projects that I've made from my blog inside, and they're really handy and easy to find. These small totes also have little clear dividers, which is really fun for separating small items. I will say that I struggle to get the little dividers in these small areas. That could just be me, but the totes work really well even if you don't divide them up. So this is my happy place. This really is my favorite part of the Dreambox, and it's finally having a dedicated space to craft inside of my craft room. I know that sounds silly, but I make a lot of videos. I do a lot of work on my computer. I do a lot of photo editing of projects, and I'm a crafter too. So I really want a place that's always available, always clean, always ready to go for me to craft. And I have that here in this fantastic table. It folds up just like this, so it's out of the way. I also purchased the optional table cover. It's great because it has a grid on it with the ruler lines, so I can measure things out if I need to, and it also keeps my tabletop surface nice and clean. This feels really sturdy. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about having my heavy Cricut on top. I wouldn't necessarily put something really large like a heat press that you're going to be pressing down on, but for regular everyday crafting, this is a really sturdy work surface that you're going to love. Another thing I love about the Dreambox is they've used every single nook and cranny of the Dreambox 2 for additional storage. So for things that are oddly shaped that you might have trouble storing and not knowing where to put it in your craft room and they get lost, you can put really big things like these pieces of vinyl or cardstock. You can slide them into these extra little slots in your Dreambox, and then they're the perfect fit. If you're a Cricut crafter like I am, you will like to know that these Cricut mats fit perfectly into these little side pockets, and you can fit a whole bunch of them here, and they're always clean, flat, and ready to go. Another great feature of the work surface in the Dreambox 2 is it comes with a surge protector where you're able to plug in your Cricut, and I'm able to plug in my Cricut EasyPress Mini. You could plug in your EasyPress. I also plug in my iPad, and I can watch video tutorials, or I can watch Netflix and just relax while I'm crafting. There's also 2 USB ports, so you can plug in additional items. I also have an OT light that goes up here when I'm doing needlepoint. That's a new craft that I've started learning, so I'm able to plug in my OT light and work here on my needlepoint as well. So this is how my Dreambox 2 looks folded up in my craft room. I didn't get that crown on the top with the light, so I don't have that additional height there that some people do. I did choose the white ergo door, that's the flat door, because I knew I wanted to put a decorative piece on top. This is a laser cut piece. It's very thin and lightweight, and I just stuck it on with double-sided adhesive tape. I'll leave a link to that for you if you're interested. That's one thing I did to customize the front of my Dreambox. I've seen other people put wallpaper, they've painted them. You can do all kinds of fun things with the door fronts. Also, for my door handles, I chose to upgrade the sort of silver finish handles that come with the Dreambox. They're really nice quality and they're really pretty, but I wanted some gold finish. So these are actually cabinet drawer pulls from Home Depot, and I'll link to these for you. I think they were about $9 a piece. So again, you can have some fun with the front of your Dreambox if you'd like to. Now let me show you how easy it is to open it up inside of my craft room. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of my Dreambox 2. I know it's a work in progress, and I'm really excited to see how it comes along as I craft more with it and figure out where I want things to go. I was sure to save a few of my totes as well and keep them empty so that I can add things and I don't feel like it's already overstuffed. Now, if you're wondering if all of your craft supplies are going to fit inside the Dreambox 2, I have to admit I had the same question and concern. And what I did was went through all of my craft supplies, many of which were in boxes or cabinets, things I had forgotten about, things I never would have found if I wanted to use them. And I started sorting, and I made some hard choices about things that I wanted to keep and things that it was time to let go of. A craft that I haven't done in 20 years is not something that I wanted to hold on to because I wanted to really take advantage of having the opportunity to have my favorite craft supplies right at my fingertips inside my Dreambox 2. So I encourage you to do that if you're considering if everything's going to fit in here. You can make the most important things fit in here, and that's going to free you up for being able to craft whenever you'd like to. I've started doing something called Dreambox days, where I give myself one day every couple of weeks where all I'm going to do is sit down, open up my Dreambox 2, and start to craft. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is to be able to do that without feeling like you have to go find all of your supplies and bring them out from wherever they've hidden, and then you can't find that special tool. So it really is a dream to be able to craft at your leisure easily and comfortably in your home. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in a Dreambox 2 of your own, I'll have a link for you with a coupon code. And remember, let me know if you're interested in another video about how I made my tote covers and getting that SVG file free. On the Create Room website, they also have a template that you can cut out with your Cricut or with scissors if you want to make solid color tote covers. but I'm happy to share my pattern with you as well. Also, let me know if you want that Canva tutorial where I made those little label covers. I'm happy to share that too. I'm so glad that we're going to be Dreambox friends, and I can't wait to share all of my Dreambox tips and tricks with you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.